Oh, boy. Hello, Jane. Kimmerau.
Hello. Kimmerau.
Oh, hamigama, tapalat.
Matthew's supposed to be here too.
Uh-huh.
Matthew's supposed to join us. I'm having
Right.
my headphones don't work or anything. And I couldn't click on the link that you had. So anyway, I'm here.
Uh-huh. What did the link work?
Huh?
Did the link work? It should.
It's working now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully we have more people. I copied the lesson and listened to it a couple of days ago. And Shanti has his lesson at 8 o'clock. So I'll probably cut it out and go into the lesson so you'll know that's why I'm leaving.
Okay. All righty.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Hope you had a good summer.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. Here's Ava. Hello, Ava. Kimmerau. Hello, Ava. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Ava.
Yeah, I tried earlier because I didn't want, just in case there were problems, and I set it on mute just because of that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're expecting a few more people. You know, it's still a little early. So anyway, well, no, we'll just hang loose for a few minutes. So. Okay. Here's somebody else. Okay, here's Denise, and oh, there's Pat. Hello, Pat. Hello, Denise.
Hey.
Okay, hello.
Hi, Pat.
Oh, hi there. How are you?
Oh,
Jane Zook. Did I get that right?
I still have a lot of difficulty, so I can't do too much. That's why I haven't been hosting at the cottage.
Okay.
And I don't know. Hopefully I'll get around to it soon when the weather gets cooler.
Okay.
I've been following you on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks so much. And looking forward to seeing you sometime.
Oh yeah, I really miss those days.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Here's somebody else coming in.
There's a lady, Eva Clark.
Yeah,
Yes, we met at the Gaelic, remember?
Yes, I was going to say, because Clark's my maiden name. So
Oh.
I remember you. But, you know, I don't see people that often. So if they don't, you know, if they aren't wearing the same thing or they aren't in the same place, it's like, who are you? But
did
I'm
the same
glad
thing.
I do remember you very well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy the Kaylee?
Yes, I had a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
Really good food too.
Oh, good. Good.
And then here's Tracy and Aurora. Hello. Miss Grandma. Hello. Glad to see you. Glad so Aurora is joining us from across the country.
Oh, wonderful.
Just from Georgia.
In Georgia. Yeah. 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 Around Savannah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice, beautiful weather today.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Good. Yeah. 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 All right. So we'll wait a couple more minutes and see who
So
else.
is everyone else on California time?
Yes, I believe so. I believe everybody is. Tracy, are you in California?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Okay. Yeah. Well, good wherever you are. But anyway. Yeah. Excuse
Do
me.
we need a pen and paper?
What? I'm sorry.
Do we need pen and paper?
Whatever works for you. I mean, so if taking notes is always a good idea. Many people take notes on the computer, so you can do that. And of course, I send out materials, so sometimes what people do is they open up the document that I send out, the chapter that I send out, and then that's a Word document, and you can type in that, so you can type in any additional notes if you want to. So if somebody asks a question and I offer a further explanation, for instance, you can type that in, but however you want to do it, however is best for you to learn. Excuse me, I am getting over a little bit of a cold. But
I just want to say I sent you a email asking what time the class starts. Because it says Tuesday, it has the date, but it didn't have the time. So I had to dig through some old emails
okay.
to find out, oh yeah, it was at 7.
Okay, yeah. Sorry for the confusion.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Yes, but it is at 7, and I will input that in all further documentation. And here's Tracy Rosales. Okay, hello, Tracy. Good to see you. Hello. Okay. So anyway, so we're getting close to the time. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, it's about time to start. So, let me introduce myself just very briefly. I'm, Michael McIntyre. Okay, I'm the instructor for the course. I've been, I'm a Gaelic learner. Okay, I've been learning Gaelic for, I hate to think, probably more than 20 years now. Okay, around 20 years. Though I have Gaelic in the family, my grandparents had the Gaelic. Okay, and I have studied formally and informally. Recently got a diploma of higher education from Solmore Ostig, the Gaelic college in Scotland, and some years ago I was honored with a gold medal in poetry at the Maud in Scotland. So that's kind of my claim to fame in the Gaelic world. Okay, and here we have Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Good evening.
Hello. Sorry,
Well-
I'm trying to get my camera to work here.
Okay. Yeah. It's always a struggle with the technology. So anyway, but let me let's go through you guys and if you could introduce yourself, you know, what's your connection with Gaelic and you know what brings you here. So now on my screen, you know, I'll just go left to right and we'll start with Ava. Ava, would you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Eva Clark. I'm originally from Germany. I've been living here for 30 years, but while I was in Germany, I spent a lot of time around Irish and Scottish people, and I heard them speak Gaelic or Gaelic, and I was very interested in it.
Okay, all right. Until Eva. Eva. Let's see, Tracy Rosales.
Hi. So the reason I'm here is I want to learn. I know maybe like 3 or 4 things in Gaelic. That's it. My family ignore the last name. I married into a non-Scottish family.
Mhm.
And I've always loved everything about Scotland and Ireland, and my family is Scottish.
Okay, oh, we'll leave, you know, but it's interesting what you say. My mother happens to be Spanish, so I have a Scottish, you know, name. You know, on my father's side, we're 100% Scottish, but on my mother's side, we're Spanish. So anyway, yeah, yeah. So I understand the mixed heritage aspect that you're talking about. Okay, let's see. So we'll go across, Lisa.
Sorry, can't get my camera to work yet, but
Okay.
so I'm Lisa Woodward. My mom was adopted, and we recently found her family about 6 years ago, who are from Scotland, the McGeeans, I think from McDonald. So
Uh-huh.
I'm just interested in learning more about the language and the culture.
All right. Oh, Gleba. Oh, wonderful. All right. And then Tracy.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Tracy. I'm here because of Tracy. She invited me. I love everything about the culture and the history and the language. My great-grandfather is from Ireland, but other than that, no real connection.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, very good. Now, one of the things that you'll hear me talk about, you know, I'll continually come back to, is the Gaelic culture extends across Scotland and Ireland. It's a shared culture. You know, it's those pesky English who came in and separated us, but historically, there's a shared Gaelic culture. And little thing about pronunciation, we refer to Irish Gaelic, and it's Scottish Gaelic. So, not that it makes a huge difference, but I was smacked across my wrist many years ago by my grandmother, who corrected me when I said Gaelic. So anyway, so that stuck with me. It still stings. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's see. And now, Denise.
Okay, yeah, I'm not European. But my daughter is half Irish, and my late husband, his parents were Irish, but his last name, I guess, was Scottish. So that's cool. But anyways, I homeschooled my daughter, and I just, you know, started learning more about, you know, different nations and cultures, and that's how I started getting into Gaelic or Gaelic.
Okay. Oh, well, very
Yeah.
good. Very good. As I said, there is a pan-Gallic culture. So many times we say, well, you know, this name is Irish and this name is Scottish, but you had, you know, people of with Gaelic names, the same Gaelic names on both sides of the water, you know, both in Ireland and Scotland. So it's hard to tell, you know, which you know, once you go back, you know, what the exact origination of the name was. But anyway, yeah. But very nice to have you, Denise. Okay. And then Jane?
Yes, I'm Jane Zock. I grew up in Virginia and our family's been there since the 1600s. And so I discovered that we were Scots-Irish, but we're Danish. And then my father's side, they're Swedish and I'm mostly Norwegian. So here you go. So the culture that I grew up in is Scots and Irish. I joined the House of Ireland. I joined the House of Sweden. But so anyway, so I got into studying Irish, and then my grandson, Matthew Benson, wanted to learn how to talk to his the people he was with on the video games and talk to them in Gaelic. And so so he and I started the class last year. I started the year before. But anyway, so that's where we are and why we're here with the Scots Gaelic.
All right. Well, very good. All right. And then you're going to leave us and go study some Irish Gaelic with Shanti. Is that what you're going to do? Is that your plan? I mean, you said you'd leave a little early tonight.
Yeah. Shanti has another class at 8. So we no longer go to the cottage, but so I thought I'd better get in and catch up a wee bit.
All right. Well, very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. You know, and I have the pleasure of talking to Shanti. Shanti, just for everybody's reference, is teaches Irish Gaelic out of the House of Ireland. And sometimes he participates in a more advanced Gaelic class of mine. And it's always interesting to go back and forth with them. You know, well, how do you say this in Irish? And many times the structure and the syntax of the languages are very similar. The words are very similar, if not identical. Okay, so anyway, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, and let's see. Pat, would you care to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Pat Goodman. I started taking Gaelic lessons from Michael on Skype. And I can't remember, maybe 7 years ago. So anyway, I'm back at the beginner class to help me with vocabulary and pronunciation. And so anyway, Gaelic is like a big jigsaw puzzle. If you have that kind of brain, you'll really, this will really check your box.
Okay.
But thanks for having me back, Michael.
Oh, glad to. Let's see, and we're getting background noise from somebody. Could you mute there? Okay. And then Heather, would you care to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello. I do have Scottish heritage. It was my great grandfather who I did not have the pleasure of meeting. But he went to the University of Edinburgh, graduated as an architect and immigrated to America. And that's my, on my dad's side. I love the Scottish culture, but I did not have the fortune of being raised Scottish, even though we have a lot of Scottish in our blood. But I'm a fan of learning languages, and I thought this would be a really interesting language to learn, possibly a language that my ancestors spoke. So that's the connection. I'm really motivated to at least get to a semi-conversational level.
Okay, well, very good. And then Heather also participates in the intermediate class. Okay, so she's checking out this class.
Right.
See if there's anything going back to the fundamentals that she.
Yes, to fill in some gaps. I would love to.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really motivated. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And then she's a diligent participant on Duolingo as well.
Yes, I started during the pandemic. We were all sent home from work, and I was quite bored, and so I thought, well, I'm going to learn a language then. If I'm being stuck at home, I'm going to do something productive, and
there you go.
That was my goal.
All right, very good. Okay, And then Aurora, you care to introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Aurora, or Ro, as most people call me.
Oh, okay.
I have Scottish in my blood, just not a lot. I'm more Irish and German. But me and my husband plan to move to Scotland and have a homestead out there. So we want to learn the language, as well as I am one to try to learn a language that is, I can't say dying, but it's not as common as it should be, is what I'm understanding. So, and I just find it very mesmerizing.
Well, very good, very good. Whereabouts in Scotland are you going to move?
We're looking at Edinburgh, currently, just because it's a huge town, huge area. We're not sure 100% because we're not from there, but we're going to visit and kind of taking tours around the area and see what sparks our fancy.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's all beautiful, of course. And so, yeah. All right. Well, very good.
And I love the rain. So
you love the rain. Okay.
I love the rain. It makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot of it. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. Then Matthew, would you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Matthew Benson. I started learning Gaelic a little over a year and a half ago to trash talk people in a video game because the character I was playing as was Scottish.
All right, very good. Okay, so a worthy motivation. Okay. All right. Okay, very good. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions before I get started? I'm going to start working from the chapter that I sent out. Okay, and you'll see that we will begin from the beginning. Toshiki Sheen Toshik. We'll begin at the beginning. All right. Okay. All right. So let me do the share. And I well, first I will show you if I can. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I will. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay. So this is a Dropbox that I will send out to everybody. Okay. And as we go forward, I will post the materials. I will send you the materials before the class, but after the class, I will post the materials here chapter by chapter. So chapter 1, that's tonight. And so there's a few documents that you can find to refresh yourself and use as flashcards even. Okay. And we'll get to those. I'll show you those tonight. And you'll understand what those look like. Okay. Here's the capital, the chapter, and a PDF of a PowerPoint presentation and pronunciation and some vocabulary. And then as well, I will, God, Melissa, I will figure out how to, I'm recording this class. I will figure out how to put a link in here to, I'll probably upload the recording to YouTube.
Oh, wow.
And then it'll probably be a separate document, like probably not a Word document, just something as simple as a notepad document, something you can easily open up. It'll have the link to the YouTube. And then you can refer to that recording. So if you or your family get bored during the week, you can say, "Oh, I know what we can do. We can watch the Gaelic class again." So anyway, but I'll put the recording here under the chapter. So at the end of tonight, it'll take Zoom a little while to process the recording, but when they do, I will upload it to YouTube, and that'll be a little while. So, you know, but by the end of the evening or early tomorrow, I will put in here the link to the YouTube recording of the class. And it'll be unprocessed and unedited, so it'll just be raw. I mean, so, you know, so what you see is what you get. I mean, you know, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing it and making it, you know, Hollywood standards, but you'll get the general idea. Okay. Okay. And then,
Will we have always have access to this Dropbox?
oh yes, you have access to it. I will send you tonight. In fact, I have a draft, and you can see, just to prove what I'm saying, I have a draft here, Dropbox for class material. Okay, so you can see this. This is going out. I didn't send it out yet because I don't want to confuse anybody. I'll send it out right at this moment. But I obviously don't have the recording for the class yet. Okay, but this link will take you to, so I'm sending it out now, and here's where it'll take you. It'll take you to kind of the master file. So here you'll see the chapter, and so chapter by chapter, you see, so right here for next week, well, right here, chapter 2. Okay, next week, chapter 2. And now there's no material in chapter 2 yet, but that's kind of what I'll do. And so you see chapter 2, and so next week you'll be able to go and see all the material for chapter 2. Though, as I said before the class, I'll send out the material to you directly. But after class, you can refer historically to the material, and as well the link to the YouTube. And then right here, as appropriate or needed or wanted, whatever, you'll see a reference material here. So far what I have is a dictionary for you, a Gaelic dictionary. And this is one of the standard Gaelic dictionaries. It's the Essential Gaelic Dictionary, Teach Yourself Dictionary, Boyd Robinson Dictionary. And what's taken a little bit of time to open. But when you download it, and I probably suggest that you download it, it's a PD or it's an EPUB. And it's searchable. So, you know, you can type in a word into the search field and, oh, here you go. Yeah, okay. And so you can download it. Probably not searchable here on the Dropbox, but you can download it and then you can search. Let's see, do I have a transfer copy? I don't know. Move, copy, maybe copy item to, I don't know. Download right here. Download right here. So you download it. And okay, here we go. Downloads fast. Yeah. So I don't know what it's doing. Where are we? Somehow, okay, right here. Download. Did we get this? Oh, for some reason it's not working properly. I'll figure this out. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. So so this is an EPUB. I also have a PDF, so if somebody needs a PDF, okay, here we go. And so if somebody needs a PDF, I can upload that as well. Okay, so anyway, so just to show you what I'm talking about. So, you know, so you can do a search, see dog, see. So different names for dog. You have Afik, small dog, a tyke, a terrier. Okay, what core, coup, core, a well-behaved dog. Well, coup would be the word for dog, and so, but it'll find the different mentions of the word in the dictionary. And of course, you can just go to it alphabetically as well. Okay. Anyway, all right. So that'll be a little something for you to get started with, right? You know, so you get a dictionary, right? All right. Okay. Any questions so far? No? Okay. As we go forward, feel free at any time, or from time to time I'll say any questions, but feel free to raise your hand or just shout out a question. Okay. All right. So Capital Un Sahun. Okay. Year 1, chapter 1. Okay. All right. And here's my slogan. Nishar Gaelic Vrishja, Naverlach Klishja. Better broken Gaelic than fluent English. Okay. Nishar Gaelic Vrishja, Naverlach Klishja. Right. And I include a pipe of the week with a reminder to, for us to send in our donations that keep the lights on, as it were. Okay. And this should be a permanent link. So, and my personal contact info you'll find right here. Okay, so you can contact me directly if you have a question or a difficulty or an issue or something like that. Anyway, but that's our Piper of the week. Okay. All right. Okay. And a Clàr na Seachdaine, the schedule of the week. Okay, so Fàilte, welcome. Seanfhacal na Seachdaine. Each week I include a proverb, a Gaelic proverb, with a small discussion. We have a section on grammar na Seachdaine. And this week we'll have pronunciation, basic pronunciation, and the vocabulary will include the Teaghlach, a family. And a Sgeulachd na Seachdaine. And this week, I'll talk about Gaelic today, Gaelic on Jew. Okay. What is the status of Gaelic today? So sometimes the Sgeulachd, which is story, and Sgeulachd or Sgeul is used in this way to mean a report. And it could be either a narrative, a fictional narrative, folklore, a folk tale, or it could be something factual. Okay, so anyway, and Òran na Seachdaine. So we try each week to end with a song. Okay, and so I'll go over the words of the song, and then I have a YouTube link, and we'll follow along with the singer and sing the song. Okay, and it's a good way to learn vocabulary, to hear excuse me, hear pronunciation, and just get a feel for the culture and the language. Okay. All right. Okay. So many of the Seanfhacal na Seachdaine, many of the proverbs will be drawn from the book Gaelic Wisdom and Wit, Lichas nan Gael, which is a compendium of some Gaelic proverbs that is being published now. It's up on some websites and with color illustrations, and so you'll see essentially the chapters. So each week I'll pull a chapter from this book. Okay, and the first one is, remember, Cúnich na duine fontanaku. All right, so why don't we start off with just trying to say that. Cúnich na duine fontanaku. There you go. Very good. Okay. Remember those you came from. Remember those from whom you came. Okay. I won't read this now, but you can read this on your own if you haven't already. It's a little, and this is included in the book that I put together. a little explanation as to little explication as to what this means for Gaelic culture. Okay, and Alexander Nicholson, classic collector of Gaelic proverbs, called this a very Highland sentiment. Okay, and right here I mentioned that and we'll get to this, a very common introduction when people first meet is koas ahau. So why don't you try saying that? Ko
Oh,
as
Us.
ahau.
uh,
Okay, or sheave if the circumstances call for referring to somebody in a formal manner. Okay,
Sheep.
and this is often translated as "where do you come from?" But there's something interesting about the ko is that more often than not refers to who do you come from. And I find Gaels are very interested in genealogy and the family that people come from. You see, so now right here we have a little comparison with the culture that, I take it, all of us are familiar with as Americans. A very common question in America when you meet somebody is, what do you do? Like, what's your job, right? That's not really a question that Gaels ask. They ask, who do you come from? Yeah, like, who's your daddy? Or who are your ancestors? Okay, so it's very culturally specific. Okay, so there you have one of the first cultural lessons in the Gaelic world. It's this question that allows Gaels to get a fix on you, to figure out who you are, to find out who your ancestors were, right? Okay. And I won't spend a lot of time on this right now. Okay. Hope you tried. All right. Well, very good. Okay. Yeah. Now when I talk about this, I don't mean to if everybody can see this, Denise writes that my ancestors are Hopi tribe. And so keep in mind that when I talk about this, and I talk about things from a Gaelic perspective, Gaelic background, but in no way is this meant to disparage people of other ancestry or other backgrounds. Okay, I think it's important for each one of us to not only learn about other people, but also learn about ourselves. Okay. Well, let's go back to this. Okay. All right. Okay. Grammar na Shechina. Okay, so we're going to go over some basic Gaelic sounds and pronunciation. Okay, so one thing to note is when I make a little mark like this, it means I'm indicating a pronunciation. I'm trying to indicate in print what the pronunciation is of something. So anyway, all right. So the vowels. Like other European languages, I and E are pronounced as in French and German. Okay. So so would be E would be A as in say. A. Okay. I would be pronounced E. Okay, as in see. Okay. O would be as in more or. O. Okay. Okay. U would be ooh. As in tug or hug. Okay. And this will be important as we go forward. Vowels are categorized according to whether they're broad or narrow. And I could put slender, okay, narrow or slender. And A, O, and U are broad, and slender are I and E. And this affects features that we'll encounter later, okay? So here are some simple words, or some words with simple vowels so you can see them in action. A is means he. Okay, as in the person, he, right? E means she. E. Okay. E. Okay. Che. Okay, it means hot. So you see the E sound or the A sound. G means need and pronounce G. Okay. So so right here I'm giving you and I'll get into the consonants in a moment, but right here you see some of the consonants are sounded different in Gaelic than they are in English. More is big or great. Okay. Bata is a stick. And hook. Hook. Okay. Is means no, doesn't mean hug, it means oh, hook. Yeah. More like a CK. Hook. No, hook. Yeah. More like that. More like hook. Yeah, okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. All right, so now I want to talk about the long and the short vowels. So I'm going to go to my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so, all right. So, basic pronunciation. This is not the end of it, but it kind of gives us the beginning. Okay, so anyway, almost all words in Gaelic are pronounced with the emphasis on the first syllable. Think emphasis, not emphasis. Okay, emphasis. Let me spread that out. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, all right, emphasis. So almost all words in Gaelic are pronounced with the emphasis on the first syllable. There's a few that aren't, but almost all are. So if you see a word in print and you don't know exactly how to pronounce it, you can go to that rule. Okay, so the importance of the stroke. So the stroke is, you'll see over above each one of these letters is this accent mark. Okay. And these marks make a difference in pronunciation and in meaning. Okay. So first, they stretch out the length of the word, the length of the letter. So I'll show you right here. We have, and it changes the meaning. So you have bata. So go ahead and say that. Bata.
Bata.
Yeah. It's like a 2 or 3 beat sound, and especially at the beginning, go ahead and, stretch it out embarrassingly long. Okay. Bata. Or on the other hand, on the right-hand side, you see bata.
Bata.
Yeah. Bata. That's a stick. Okay. So they sound very similar and they look very similar, but when you're pronouncing them, and even when you're reading them, you have to make sure to make that distinction, okay? Because you don't want to go sailing with your bata. You want to go sailing with bata. Okay. Here's another example. And so I just have a few comparisons. Brahmer. Brahmer, okay, is a lover or sweetheart, a boyfriend or girlfriend, a kind of ungendered, okay. Brahmer versus a Brummer. Which is a farter or a ruffian or a boor, okay, a Brummer, okay, so, okay. So when you go to meet the parents, you want to take your Brahmer and not your Brummer. Okay. All right. Okay. Avin on the left, Avin, oven versus oven.
Uh,
A river. Okay, a river. So an oven, oven, or an oven, or an oven. Okay, very short, A. Okay, all right. So, okay. So when you play with your baby in the oven, not in the oven. Okay. Okay. So in the oven. Okay. Now sometimes you'll see the word on the left, river, pronounced awen as well. Awen. Okay. So, but I'll get to that in just a moment. Okay. All right. Okay. So be careful what you invite your friends to. A feish is a festival. And a feish is something that's quite a bit different. Okay. So anyway, so you want to be clear to say that you're going to a feish. Okay, with a long A. All right. Okay. Pronunciation. Okay, so C is pronounced like a K. And so here's some words. Kimmer. Okay, yeah. So say after me. Kimmer.
Kimmer,
Okay. Kerk.
Kerk,
Okay. Celtic.
Celtic,
Okay. So it's not like the Boston Celtics, it's Celtic with a K. Okay. Or coo. Coo. A dog. Okay. A coo.
Is that for every dog or only big dogs?
Only what?
The coo, is that for all kind of dogs or just for big dogs?
No, I'm not getting the last part of your question, but yes, it's the generic word for dog.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. D and T. Okay. These change pronunciation. So if it's followed by a broad vowel, the A or U, it's pronounced very much like the English. Dona, which bad, or Thai, which means house, and pronounced like Thai. So so I have the little pronunciation mark here. Dona, Thai. Okay, Thai. Okay, all right. Okay, so a hard D or hard T. All right. So anyway, when followed by a narrow vowel, and that's the I or the E, the pronunciation is softened. So it sometimes sounds like a J or a CH or a soft G. Okay, so here are a couple examples. Cheery. Okay, which means, so long, goodbye. Cheery. Cheery Andrasta, goodbye for now. Or Czechish. Okay, to teach. Joe. Joe. Okay, good. Or G. G. Okay, note the long I. Cheery. G. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. Okay. So an S will follow by a broad vowel. It's pronounced like an S in English, like Sabbath, which is Sabbath. The La na Sabbath, day of the Sabbath, would be Sunday. Okay. Or Sassenach, an Englishman. Okay. Sabbath. Okay. Oh, and there's another pair, I could have included. Okay. I can do this just okay. Okay. Sabbath equals fight. Okay, so so you want to be clear, for instance, that you're celebrating the Sabbath and not the Sabbath. My grandfather used to celebrate Lana Sabbath, which was back when I was a boy, which was when the prize fights were on TV. And he called Lana Sabbath, which would irritate my grandmother to no end. But anyway, it would be, she'd think it would be sacrilegious. But of course, he did it for that reason. So, all right. Okay, so now S plus a slender vowel, and remember that's I or E. sounds like an SH. So shin
Shin.
or show.
Show.
Show. Okay. So yeah, so it takes an SH sound. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Common vowel combinations. Bria. Bria. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. With an E sound. Okay. Mian. Mian. Okay. So you can have Mian La.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, the middle of the day. Mian La.
Yeah.
Okay. However, sometimes you have changes in the in how this combination is pronounced, because you have words like dressa, which means a dress, okay, or sketich, to decorate. So you have a little variation here, okay, as to how the combination is pronounced. AIDH, very often appearing at the end of a word, sounds like an E. So chiri, okay, bye-bye, okay, chiri, okay, or gushiri means forever, okay, shiri, okay, so you have that ending at the end, and very often it's has an E sound. All right. In the middle of a word, a TH is never pronounced like a TH in English. It disappears and acquires an H sound. So hook, okay, to gave something, or past tense of the verb to give, okay, hook. In the middle of a word or at the end, it's pronounced mostly like an H. So ma, okay, it means good. Like you'll often hear me say gleva. You know, that's very good, okay? And there's another reason for that, why I'm pronouncing it like that, but ma, okay? Or datak, dayak, okay? Coloring, okay? To be coloring something, dayak. So you notice I don't pronounce the TH like I would in English. Kind of, it here in the middle of the word, it very often provides a breath or a little space, okay, but you don't pronounce it like a TH in English, okay? A CH at the end of a word or syllable, and this is a sound that does not occur in English. But if you're familiar with the pronunciation of the word loch, which means lake, okay, you'll get that. And you can pronounce this sound by gargling. So I tell students, just gargle, okay? Every night when you brush your teeth, and you take a little mouthwash down, hold it in your throat and gargle. So you go, and that's loch, okay? Or in the middle of a word, mochere, mocheri, okay? Mocheri, early rising, okay? Or droch, bad, something bad, droch, okay? Okay. So the CH at the end is pronounced harshly, okay? M and B are pronounced basically as in English, except the B is a little bit more plosive, more like a P, as in alapa. Alapa. Okay, yeah. So think of it as tend towards the P sound with a B, okay? Alapa. Okay. Okay. And later I'll get to how that extra A creeps in there. Okay. What's happening there. So L before a slender vowel, remember that's an I or an E, it sounds like a Y. That's not quite a Y, but you can fake it. So yave, to read, yave, okay, okay, or Yoas, the Isle of Lewis, Yoas, okay, okay. But but before a broad vowel, a or a u, the L is pronounced like in English, but not quite. So it's not loch, it's loch. Okay, so do this. Put your tongue against your bottom teeth and pronounce the L as in loch. Loch. You see? The tongue against the bottom teeth. Okay? Loch. Okay. Or Luchen. 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 Little hero. Okay. Luchen. Okay. Okay. So it's pronounced with the tongue against the bottom teeth. So it's not Loch or Luchen. You see, in English, you pronounce that L with the tongue on the top, with the tongue against the top palate. In Gaelic, it's Loch or Luchen. Okay. Okay. All right. So, of course, this is an overview, and as we go forward, don't expect you to memorize everything now, but this just kind of gives us a little overview. Okay. Lenition. Okay, very important. It is marked by an H after the first letter of a word. Okay, so the H doesn't really exist as a letter in Gaelic, except there's a very few words that are imported from English that start with an H. Otherwise, the H marks a number of different things. It changes pronunciation for one thing, but it marks past tense and it marks other features of the grammar. So let me show you how it works, and it is sometimes referred to as the softening of a consonant. So ku would be dog, but ahu would be dog. Ahu. And there you get the ch, right? But you don't get the ku, you don't get the k sound. Okay, so I should put in, where are we? Yeah, right here. Hold on a second, I'll put in, okay. So it's ku becomes ahu. Okay. Okay. Well, there's really no phi becomes hur, the past tense of get. See, so hain, well, sometimes you will see a fhìn. Okay. Okay. So, but it's hain. You see, so the F becomes kind of an H sound. And toramat becomes horamach. Okay. Okay. So, and so I'm not going through all the rules as to when lenition happens, because it happens, in various circumstances, but just to give you an idea of what it does, it changes the pronunciation. Sometimes it marks past tense. Sometimes it marks that we're talking directly to somebody. Okay. All right. M and B are pronounced as V when they're lenited. So virate. Okay. Normally myret, but the M lenited becomes a V, virate. Okay. Avin. There you have the B, but as we talked about earlier, it becomes avin. Okay, though in some dialects it's awin. Okay, because again, you could have the BH, the H silencing the B totally, or turning it into a V. Okay, or you have gleva. Very good, gleva. So let's see, so right here, where are we? Yeah, right here. I'm going to put the original word would be ma, okay, but it becomes gleva. Okay, all right. So here's some more pronunciation. So just say after me. I'm just giving you some random words. Okay, fashion or fasten.
Awesome.
Fashion. Drog,
Drog.
bothered.
Dog.
Yeah, somebody's bothered by something. Cut,
Cut.
okay. Opper,
Upper.
Father.
say. Courage,
Cottage.
friend or relative, or butter.
Butter.
Okay. Ass, from. Car,
Car.
blaric,
Lorich.
love,
Love.
archer,
Arta.
bata,
Bata.
aum.
Elm.
Okay. Okay. A,
A.
A. A.
yay, remember the Y sound is half. Okay, and there's some variation. Essen could also mean he, the emphasized version of he. Okay, and it's pronounced Essen. Okay, not with the A sound, right? So on J,
On J.
On J.
okay, Avon,
Avon.
Avon.
A,
A.
May.
Smay.
Okay, and then notice the ID at the end is very often pronounced like a TCH, smage. Okay? Brish, shear, me,
Me.
E.
e,
E.
sheen,
Sheen.
leecher.
Feature.
Teacher.
Very good. Okay, or cheer,
Cheer.
Chair.
mere,
Mirror.
Here.
eashel,
Eashel.
heap,
Peep.
Peep.
re,
Re.
re. Okay, or vo,
Vol.
doris,
Doris.
doan,
Doan.
Owen.
crook,
Crook.
Olaf.
Oh.
Olaf, professor. Don't be confused by the CN. The CN in Gaelic is pronounced like a CR. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Beo,
Bell.
Yomach,
Loma.
Yomach, proud. Dorstach,
Dorch.
pouring like the rain is pouring. Okay. Orstach,
Orch.
Vogue,
Bog.
more.
More.
And du,
Do.
gun,
Gun.
kutermach, kum.
Kum.
All right. Screwtach,
Screwed.
hooter,
Wood.
cool,
Cool.
floor.
Cool.
All right, Leva. Okay, all right. So those are some basic pronunciations. I wanted to run through those, so we have an idea of what it is that we're doing, and a version of this will be placed in the
Great.
Dropbox. Okay. All right. So now, the Teaghlach. Teaghlach, okay, the family. So just some vocabulary for family. Okay, so so we'll next week we'll launch into actually saying a sentence, but I will try to have a lesson on just pure vocabulary each week. Okay, so we can start to build our vocabulary. And this week, the domain, it's called the domain, the area that I've decided would be the family, right? So anyway, Maher. Okay, so notice the TH is silent, okay? Maher, okay? Nian, okay, daughter, okay? Nian, okay? Aher, okay? Okay, father, okay? Mak, okay? And then you notice that of course, many both Scottish Gaelic and Irish Gaelic names have a mach in them, a mach, you know, and that is essentially, you know, the son of, okay? And here's the root form, mach, okay? Yenif,
Yenif.
okay, or a pasture, okay, pasture, Yenif, okay, a baby, okay, okay, braher, okay, okay, braher, okay, pure, sister, okay, balach, a boy, balach, okay, nian, okay, or kalak. And so nian can mean both daughter or girl. Okay. And the line of demarcation, well, kalak is usually a smaller girl, though nian can be anything from a small girl to maybe even a teenager. I mean, you know, there's a famous love song, Monian down voyach, you know, my beautiful brown-haired girl. Okay, and so right there they're talking about you know, I mean, you know, like a young woman. So Nian has a wider range of application than Kalak. Kalak is usually just you know, like an 8 or 9 year old, something like that. Okay, all right, okay. Or Shenner. Okay, yeah, okay. And a Shenavar. Shinavar. Okay, all right. Cut, and coup. And of course, I include these as members of the family. Okay. 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 Flashcards. Okay. So anyway, so now you'll have this, and so you can practice. Okay. So anybody remember this?
Maher.
Here, yeah. How about this?
Nian.
Okay. Here.
Mark.
Aher. Okay. Or Muck. Okay. Right here.
Pashti.
A pasture or Yenif. Okay. Either one. Okay. Here.
Balach.
Braher. Okay.
Oh, Braher.
Or
Nian.
pure. Okay. Well, she is an Ian. Okay. Okay. Right here. Balak. Okay. Or
Nian.
Or Kalak.
Or Kalak. Okay.
Skinner.
Shenner. Shenavar. Okay. Cut. Okay. That's not a hard one. Okay. Or coup. Okay, coup. Okay, gleva. Okay, all right. So that's the vocabulary. Okay. So anyway, so and these vocabulary items and the flashcards will be included in the
Dropbox.
Yeah, in the Dropbox. Thank you. I was having trouble with that one. Okay, so now and it might not seem much right now, but as you go forward, I'll try to leave you with actionable items. Okay, so you know, as you go through your week, you know, look at right now, look at members of your family or your neighbors or people you pass, and see if you can't apply Gaelic names to them, like Aher or Shenavar or Nian or Balach. You know, so because this is not something that we okay. And doing commercial breaks on shows. Very good. Yeah. In your spare time, in your spare moments. Yeah. And that's a very good idea. I mean, you know, grab a minute here or there, you know, and because one of the ways to learn is to not leave it for just, the small segment of time that we'll have each week, but to apply it as you go through the week. Okay. All right. So now, let's see. What do we got? Okay. All right. Okay. So I got that. Okay. I should have something else too. Oh, okay. What else do I got? Okay. Okay. So what I want to do now is just pull out of the Gaelic a little bit and just talk a little bit about, and this lesson will be, this part of the lesson will be in English. Just talk about the status of Gaelic today. Okay. All right. So, a Gaelic on Jew. Okay. The Gaelic today on Jew today. All right. Okay. So, Scottish Gaelic is endangered. We see a chart here from the 1700s and a quick fall off from the late 1800s. Around the 1900s, around 1900, Gaelic started falling off in the number of speakers. Okay, so that's not only the number of speakers, but also the percentage of speakers in Scotland. And a number of things account for this. One is I hate to say this, but the attempts by the British government to squash Gaelic. Many laws and movements over the centuries to kill the Gaelic language and culture. As well, you had other factors. You had inroads into the Gaelic community, literally roads up into the Highlands, but also modern technology, radio, television, and also a lot of Gaels seeking their fortunes elsewhere in the developed world, going away and getting jobs and whatnot. But anyway, there are a lot of factors involved in this fall off. Okay. So here's some and some later data. I'll talk about the Highland clearances, and this was the ethnic genocide of the Gaels. The clearing of Gaels, that is Gaelic people, Highlanders, from the Highlands, moving them off the land, evicting them from the land. And then you have the Education Act, okay, of 1872, forbade Gaelic in schools. In 1914, many Gaels were recruited for the First World War, and which meant that a lot of Gaels, a lot of Highland young men went away and then came back and inculcated with other culture, English language culture, and then English language radio and print, and then of course World War II, and the great language killer of all time, television. Okay, more media. Okay, all right. So most speakers today are in the Western Isles. Okay, so here the darker the color, the higher percentage of Gaels. Very often in the darker colored areas, you have bilingual cultures. Okay, and you do nowadays have pockets of speakers in major cities such as Glasgow and Inverness. Okay, so and in Nova Scotia, Alapanuag. Okay, Alapanuag, Alapa. Okay, New Scotland. Okay, more people spoke Gaelic in Alapanuag historically. It was named Alapanuag, or Nova Scotia, which is New Scotland in Latin, because it was settled by a lot of Gaels, a lot of Highlanders. And then the decline coincided with the rise of formal English language education. Though there are some remnants of Gaelic culture in Nova Scotia, including a Gaelic college. In the United States, there was actually a Gaelic communities in North Carolina through the early 1800s. War against Gaelic, okay? Gaelic long discouraged in education, often forbidden in Highland schools. There's something called the crown matcha. That was the translation would be a wooden stick, okay? The practice was a child who spoke Gaelic was handed the crown matcha. And then each child after him or her who spoke Gaelic was passed the crown matcha. Then at the end of the day, the children would line up in reverse order that they were passed the stick, and they were beaten as they went out the door. So you had a real, war against Gaelic. Okay. In the 1600s, laws passed against Gaelic, very often the target of racial and linguistic prejudice. Okay. In some parts of Scotland, the lowland parts of Scotland, you'll find people who are hostile to Gaelic. And various elements of Gaelic culture, such as the bards, the music, and the kilt, were discouraged from time to time. Okay, because you can't have, because the language doesn't exist by itself. It's part of a culture. And and if you heard me at the little Gaelic get-together that we had, the irony is that almost everything that we think of as Scottish comes from the Highlands, comes from Gaelic culture. The bards, the poetry, the music, the bagpipes, the kilt, the Highland games, all these things. These are Highland cultural items. There is a renewed interest in Gaelic, like this class we're having right now. Okay. And it coincides, it's not just in the Gaelic world, but it coincides with concern about endangered languages throughout the world, which is we've become more and more aware as a worldwide culture of the rapid die-off of minority languages. Okay, the Gaelic medium education movement began in the 1970s with Sgeulachd and Irish, the nursery school program. Okay, it was voluntary community participation. Government is now a default option in the Western Isles. Okay, the Western Isles being these isles up here that are most heavily Gaelic. A board to the Gaelic, one of the central organizing bodies. So it's advisory. It draws up Gaelic language plans. It takes a long view and currently working on a Using Gaelic campaign. Okay, so to encourage people to use Gaelic, including putting up signs, road signs in Gaelic and English, which again, I mentioned the hostility among some people in even in Scotland towards Gaelic. You have people protesting, dual language road signs, saying, "Oh, it's confusing. I can't figure out where I'm going." Anyway, but higher education, Solmore Ostick is the flagship of Gaelic higher education. Now, there's other places you can learn Gaelic in Scotland or study Gaelic in a formal education setting, but Solmore Ostick is dedicated entirely to Gaelic. You go there and you have to talk Gaelic all the time. Okay. It was initiated with a gift from Sir Ian Noble, who was a banker, a wealthy banker, who gifted the great barn at Ostick. And here's the old barn. Okay. Here's the new campus. Okay. And so here's something that he wrote. He was not a native Gaelic speaker, but he was inspired. He went to the Faroe Islands with a little group of islands in the North Sea. And he said, when I asked the Faroese, I was amazed when they all replied that things began to happen when they decided to be Faroese and stop being Danish. This sparked the whole thing. It gave them a sort of self-respect. I'm convinced that through a revival of the language, there came a pride and identity, and all else followed. We mustn't be frightened being a small community. Instead, we must create our own internal binding factors. People here have never believed that things are possible, but there's virtually nothing that could not be achieved in the Highlands. Yeah. Let's go. As I said, there are other formal educational venues in Scotland and around the world. University of Glasgow, University of Edinburgh, St. Francis Xavier in Nova Scotia. Okay. And Salmore Ostick has short courses during the summer as well. And there's other elements in the revival movement. Jason, I forget his last name. Anyway, puts YouTube videos on, okay, and various Gaelic organizations, okay, and a Gaelic Book Council, okay, various places to learn Gaelic. Duolingo. I don't have a picture of Duolingo, but of course that's a very popular venue nowadays. All right, okay. And the future of Gaelic. Okay, so education alone can't save the language. Okay. A big problem that Gaelic is facing nowadays is what's called intergenerational transmission. Parents passing the language to children, as well as community use in many domains. I mean, you know, it's helpful if you can go into a store and speak Gaelic and all that. I mean, you know, so, or go into a government office and speak Gaelic, okay? And so there are many people who are struggling to expand the use of Gaelic in many of these domains. Okay, right, okay, all right, so that's that. Any questions? Where's that goes? Any questions, thoughts? No?
I do have one question.
Yes.
So me and my husband were taking Gaelic through Duolingo.
Uh-huh.
Is that a good source to also learn from?
What? I'm sorry?
Duolingo.
Yes, uh-huh.
Is that a good source to learn from for the language? Because sometimes language apps aren't always true to the language.
I would say it's a good supplement.
Okay.
I'm in favor of anything that gets you exposed to the language. I mean, you know, it's not an end all and be all, but it's a good supplement. And Heather can speak to how it's been helpful because she's been taking the class and doing Duolingo. And correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but you have found it useful.
It's useful for me because it encourages me to practice Gaelic daily.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
That's probably the best benefit is its repetition.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, you know, so it has drawbacks. It doesn't it doesn't explain. Sometimes it's very rigid in terms of it doesn't allow for flexibility. I mean, language is flexible. I mean, you know, there's a dozen different ways to say the same thing. Duolingo says there's just one way, you know, so it has its limitations, but yeah, I mean, but combined with other things, you know, I would say that is helpful.
Yes, I think it teaches more in exposure, and you may have some wonderings like, why is it like that? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But out of repetition, your brain is understanding that's the way it sounds. And if you ever have a question, professor's very good about answering what Duolingo doesn't maybe explain.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. So I'm always happy to field questions. So anyway, so I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Oh, glad to. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we come to the last section of our class. Okay, and okay, the Òran na Seachdaine, the section of the class that everybody waits for. Okay, that's the song of the week. And this song is Stolam Heen Buntàta Sim. So go ahead and try that. Stolam Heen Buntàta
Isim.
Okay. I like potatoes and butter. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I've got a YouTube link, and so I have a guest lecturer who will take us through the song. Not him.
Most people have no clue that in 2024, the best way to make money with Amazon is not by selling.
Hello, agus Fàilte go Òran na Seachdaine Cóla Josie Duncan.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to Song of the Week with me, Josie Duncan. This week we're
Okay, I'm going to slow this down a little bit. Okay, so she started off saying Fàilte Irash, welcome back. It's Misha Josie Duncan. Okay, all right, so.
be learning Salam Heen Buntàta Sim.
Okay, so go ahead and say after her. Okay, Stolam Heen Buntàta Sim. Okay.
Which is Portugal, and it translates as I myself like potatoes and butter. So this song is made up of an A part.
Is that too slow? Is that okay?
I think it's
pretty
okay
good.
at the beginning.
But I'm sorry?
I think it's okay right now, but later it'll get a little slow.
Okay, all right. Well, I can crank it up just one little notch. Right now it's at half speed. I'll put it up to 75. Okay, so we'll try this. All right.
And a B part. But the good news is that the A part and the B part both use the same lyrics. I'm going to teach you the lyrics first of all. Salam Heen Buntàta Sim, the title of our song, is also our first line. So that's Salam Heen Buntàta Sim. Salam Heen Buntàta Sim. Then we have Salam Heen na Clàr. Salam Heen na Clàr. I like the girl.
Oh, what happened to her?
This week we're going to be learning Salam Heen Buntàta Sim, which is Portugal, and it translates as I myself like potatoes and butter. So this song is made up of an A part and a B part, but the good news is that the A part and the B part both use the same lyrics. I'm going to teach you the lyrics first of all. Salam Heen Buntàta Sim, the title of our song, is also our first line. So that's Salam Heen buntàta sim. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Then we have stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín na Cálachan. I like the girls. Stellum hín na Cálachan. Now we are going to repeat our first line. Stellum hín buntàta sim. I myself like potatoes and butter. Stellum hín buntàta sim is níonachan a bhalla seo. Is níonachan a bhalla seo. So all of the words for the whole song go like this. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín buntàta sim is níonachan a bhalla seo. Now, would you believe that that's a whole song? Because we are using the same lyrics for our A part and our B part. Onto the melody, the A part starts like this. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín buntàta sim. And then we have Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín na Cálachan. So after Stellum hín na Cálachan.
Okay, so I want to see lips flapping there. Okay, sing along with it.
We're going to repeat our first line. Stellum hín buntàta sim. And then we have is níonachan a bhalla seo. And the melody for that sounds like this. Is níonachan a bhalla seo. Is níonachan a bhalla seo. So that's the whole of our A part. We're halfway through the song. I'm going to sing you the whole A part. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín buntàta sim is níonachan a bhalla seo. One more time, see if you can sing along. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín buntàta sim is níonachan a bhalla seo. Now the good news is that our B part uses the exact same lyrics. So no more words for you to learn, but there is a new melody and it's quite jumpy, so make sure you listen carefully. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín buntàta sim. That's our first line. And then we have Stellum hín na Cálachan. So there's quite a big jump there. Cálachan. Cálachan. So our second line is Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stellum hín na Cálachan. And then we repeat our first line. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Then we have is níonachan a bhalla seo. And the good news about this is that it's the same lyrics and the same melody as the first half. Is níonachan a bhalla seo. Now for the whole B part. Stellum hín buntàta sim. Stellum hín na Cálachan. Stalum hyn bynad y sim is ni ac yn y fal y sio. One more time. Stalum hyn bynad y sim, stalum hyn y cael ac yn, stalum hyn bynad y sim is ni ac yn y fal y sio. Now I'm going to sing you the whole song nice and slowly. Stalum hyn bynad y sim, stalum hyn y cael ac yn, stalum hyn bynad y sim is ni ac yn y fal y sio. Stalum hyn bynad y sim, stalum hyn y cael ac yn, stalum hyn bynad y sim is ni ac yn y fal y sio. Stalum hyn bynad y sim, stalum hyn y cael ac yn, stalum hyn bynad y sim is ni ac yn y fal y sio. Stalum hyn bynad y sim, stalum hyn y cael ac yn, stalum hyn bynad y sim is ni ac yn y fal y sio. Thank you so much for learning this song with me, and I hope you have a lovely week. Cheers!
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not.
Okay. All right. Where are we now? All right. Okay. Stop the share. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I think I'm back on. I trust that you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Sometimes I have. Sometimes I forget to turn my sound back on. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's about it for tonight. Okay, and that gives us a start. Next week, we'll learn more vocabulary, and we'll learn how we introduce ourselves to other people. Okay, what do you say when you meet somebody new? Okay, so so we'll launch into that. Okay, so any questions before we go?
In the dictionary, will it show you all the words, how to say them phonetic?
No.
No?
No, okay. But since you asked that, I'm going to share the screen again. And let's see, where are we? Right here. And I'll put this link in the Dropbox, but learn Gaelic Fhàilte. Okay. All right. Right here, word by word, you can put in a word. I mean, like, Òran. Okay. Òran. Okay. So,
Awing.
Well, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. You see, almost every word, or at least common words, has a little speaker next to it. And speaker icon, and you can click on that and get a pronunciation. Keep in mind that sometimes pronunciations vary. There's dialectical differences, but though they aren't that great, but at least it gives you some place to start, like right here, Òran niche.
Awing niche.
Òran niche. Okay, so right here, let's see.
Awing.
Awin, you see, they pronounce it with Awin, like with the W. I pronounce it with the V, okay? Same difference, just a little dialectical difference. But anyway, I will put this link in our Dropbox, and you can go here and input. This is also a good dictionary. Okay, so any word that you come across, and you can put in what's a fridge or a ridge, okay? Dromen, Drila, Drima Arch, a ridge, okay, drone, a ridge, so you can put in an English word and get Gaelic words. So this is a good online dictionary, good quick online dictionary with Gaelic pronunciation. So I will put this link in our Dropbox under references as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Tapleva. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if not, then that's it for tonight. Okay. So Tapleva Hula Dunya. Thank you, everybody. I guess I
Thank you.
Akaba,
Bye.
Dunya.
Akaba,
Good night.
Kapala.